Hey friends! I revamped one of my vegetable garden beds the other day, and so I could plant in it straight away. And you can see that that's this one here, and unfortunately the dogs buried something in it the other day and basically destroyed half of it. But I have to replant seedlings in there now anyway. But I was just doing the same to this bed, and I thought maybe some of you guys might be interested in how I make like an instant, like ready to plant straight away vegetable garden bed. So what I had in here was a heap of soil, and I grew amazing tomatoes in there last summertime, but the soil was getting a bit, I don't know, you could still grow stuff, but now I got this beautiful clay loam. I thought I might, I took half the soil out, the old soil, and you can still see it all the way under here. See, it's a bit sandy, but it still grew, like I said, really good stuff because it had heaps of compost in it over the years. But anyway, so then what I did was I just put a layer of wood chips over the soil that I left in there. See, just probably an inch of wood chips, and then I put maybe maybe an inch of lucerne hay or alfalfa hay, and now I'm putting over a layer of red clay loam soil. And then I'll just put that on, and then I'll show you what to do next. There we go. There's the red soil in there. Now I'm going to put this horse manure in there. Just put it on as a layer. And some people say you can't grow in fresh manure, but I've never had a problem with growing in fresh cow or horse manure. Alright, so I'll just stick that in next. I forgot to mention that, just want to say this before I go further, is that if I didn't have this tank here, half a tank, I could easily make a garden bed anywhere. Like on this grass here, I could do this method on this grass, like have a little bed on the grass here. You see? If you want to make an instant bed like this. There's the horse poop in there. Now I'm going to go get another load of clay and put that on top, okay? But before I do that, I thought you guys might be interested in this little garden in here. This used to be my favourite vegetable garden, but then Mum planted these thing called the Virginia creeper, which is like a grapevine but doesn't grow grapes and just is like very invasive, and it got all through the soil in here, and so I didn't want to fertilise this bed anymore because the Virginia creeper is just robbing all the nutrients. So I abandoned it, but it was one of my favourites, and I used to grow my seedlings in there, and this was a worm farm, but it looks like it's over it. No, Mum doesn't look like she's been using it. And we used to wash our stuff here, like, our produce and stuff anyway, but my stepfather's taken it over because he doesn't care that the Virginia creeper is taking from the soil. So you can see he's got all these cabbages and silver beet and cauliflower and broccoli, all that. Okay, I thought you might find that interesting. Okay, I'll be back with you in a tick. Now I'm just putting a second layer of red clay loam over the layer of poo. And if I had a bag of leaves, like if I had raked up a bag of leaves, I wouldn't hesitate in putting a layer of leaves in there as well, but I don't have those. But the other thing I wouldn't put in, like a vegetable garden I wanted to use straight away, is food scraps. They take time to break down, and they don't help things to grow while they're breaking down. Okay, alright, I'll just put this layer of clay on and get back to you. Okay, so there's my layer of red clay. So I've seen these people that make these like sandwich garden beds, on top of the soil or whatever, on top of the ground or whatever. They often don't dig through the layers. They just like plant like this. But I'm gonna dig through the layers because they're only fairly thin layers. It's easy and not hard to dig through, and it'll just take me a couple of minutes. So I'm just going to use this fork and just give her a little dig through. Okay, so I'll just do that and get back to you. Okay, now that's dug through a bit. The next step is I'm going to put that hay over here as mulch, but before I actually do that, I'm going to do two more intermediate steps, and that is I'm going to water this a lot, and that's going to make it nice and moist to help the microorganisms start becoming more active. And I'm also going to go and get few worms from another part of my garden, and I'm going to put the worms in there so that they can start ploughing all this in and breaking it all down for me and making it more rich. And then I'm going to put the hay on top, okay? So I'll be back with you in a tick. Okay, so here's my worms. Probably can't see them here. I'll pour them out there. There you go. There they all are. Can you see them? And then they'll all find their way into the soil and just water it in. Actually, I'll spread those babies out a bit. Like that. And then give this a good soak. Good soaking. Make sure they got plenty of moisture to live in and dig through the soil easily. Okay. And then, like I said, the last step is putting that hay on top. And then my garden bed's done and ready to plant in, like that one. Okay. So that's how it's done. Just want to show you guys one more thing before I go. What you're witnessing here is a complete mowing down of all my seedlings and lettuces and kale and spinach by, I think it might be a hare or a possum. I've actually never had this problem before, and it's eaten all the silver beet. So I found a hole in the fence this morning. I hope covering that up will fix the problem, but I imagine now it's found a really good food source, it'll come back and I might have a huge problem on my hands. So that'll be an interesting challenge to fix. But unfortunately I had started eating out of this garden bed myself, but there's nothing to eat now because the hare or whatever it is has gotten it all. So I'm hugely disappointed by that. So anyway, just wanted to share that. Okay, well, I hope you found this interesting, how I showed you how I made that instant garden bed. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.